color were you? White, and you won? Okay. That is good stuff. Alright. We are going to get going here. Alright. Remind me your name again, buddy? Nathan, I knew that. I knew that.
Then why did you ask?
What?
Why did you ask? How did you ask?
Alright. Here we go. Here we go with Nathan. Okay, we have E4, E5, Knight F3, Knight C6, D4. You play the Scotch? Where'd you learn that?
I don't know. I just like to play.
Why'd you choose that opening though? Huh? I like that. That's what I play, so I'm just curious. Okay, E takes D4. Back up, buddy. Knight takes D4. Now you play D6. Okay, so not a great move. You played Bishop B5, that's fine. Bishop to D7, but now you play Bishop B3. Probably not the best way for you to get an advantage. See, the thing is, this structure, when they play D6, naturally takes on less space, meaning they're not going to open, they're not going to get the bishop out. Hold on, don't move the pieces, okay? So the main moves they're supposed to play often are like Bishop to C5, okay? Knight F6. There are moves that immediately challenge you for opening the center, okay? D6 is a move that naturally creates a space disadvantage. So when your opponent has a space disadvantage, do you want to let them trade pieces? Not really, right? So this is an option, but no, the best thing to do is to actually keep your piece on the best square that it's on and just take here with the bishop. Okay? Now, if they take with the pawn or the bishop, it's okay with you. Either way, you're just going to develop the knight to C3. Often this bishop can even come to F4 or E3, and believe it or not, you can quickly castle long in a lot of these positions and just crush it. Okay? Accelerated development beats bishop pair. Okay, you ever seen Bears beats Battlestar Galactica? You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
That's The Office. You know who Rainn Wilson is? He's a chess player. He actually plays on Chess.com. He's also an actor. So this is all fact. Okay? Here's the point. You want to, I don't know if I'm going to get to all the games, but keep bringing them. Alright, so here's the point. Nathan, right here, buddy. The point is, you don't want to let them trade pieces and simplify the position if they have less space. You want to keep your pieces dominant in the center. Center control and accelerated development beats the bishop pair. Normally the bishop pair is a very strong advantage, and in the bigger picture, if you don't do anything to keep your advantage, two bishops can be good because most positions become open. But accelerated development, center control beats the bishop pair like Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. You remember that?
Nope.
Tell your dad I want you to go see The Office. Watch The Office, the show. The American version with Steve Carell, not the English version. Okay, so you played here, Bishop to E3. Which is bad, and your opponent should just trade everything. Trade, 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 trade. And he has a much better chance of equalizing. So he doesn't, he plays A6, then you take. I'm sure you take. Oh no, you're losing time. You're still going to be a little bit better, but you should just take it and keep your pieces active. Knight C3, Queen D2, Castle long, everybody's happy. Yeah, just crush them. Attack, 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 attack. Okay, Bishop C4. This thing is a little dysfunctional. I feel like a giant when I'm using this thing here. I have fat fingers. Knight F6, Knight to C3, G6, Bishop to G5. So you're moving pieces twice out of the opening, right? What makes you think you can do that? Okay, fair enough. Bishop to G7, Knight to D5, but you're not going to get anything. He castles, but wait. You almost have a chance to get something. Can you put the queen on F3? Not quite? Yeah, I know, but it'll take with the pawn, and you got nothing. So, you're playing for tactics that seem like something, but you have to have the discipline to calculate ahead. Like, alright, I'm making these moves, but really I'm not getting anything. You know, because they can play like Knight E5 with a tempo and then kick your pony out. I mean, you're not really going to get anything for all these moves. We'll get to that. Try to get better at explaining what's happening without moving the pieces. Okay, only I can move the pieces. That's the goal. You should be able to do things in your head. All right. I only move the pieces so that you can follow me. If you want to do it all in our heads, we can do that. What?
Can you move the
Well, in a real game, yeah. But you should all work on that. Analyze without your hands. Okay, the board is just a medium. It should be in your head. Okay, so knight to d5, knight to e5, bishop back to b3. Go ahead, you can touch the pieces. Now he plays a bad move, so he should have played this move. Kicked your knight out and make you trade, and everybody comes. I mean, if you trade everybody here in the end, he's got his queen on f6. He's got a great position, right? He played c5 because he wants to win the piece, but he may regret it. Yeah, you played knight f3. This is good. Because you're threatening to take and play queen f3.
And then you move rook a.
So he didn't want to follow up on winning his piece because you can take and take there. Okay. And you have queen f3 coming.
Bishop to c5.
So now you took and he took here. So we're going to get a big old trade town.
Actually,
You played c4.
yeah, because I thought.
Remember, I just told you.
Have you ever heard of castling? Yeah? What do you think about it?
I forgot the shit.
Well, you got to castle. I mean, you got to get the king out of the center. All right. c4. Bishop takes e4. Aha! You're still going for it. You're going to regret it. I mean, oh wait, I missed the move. You've already castled. My bad. Castled. Sorry about the castle comment. Knight g4. So now he plays rook e8, rook e1, rook e6.
Well, I had this.
Alright. So you move bishop to e3.
Yeah, but so what? He needs to unpin his situation.
Question mark means.
I guess he just can't do that. Maybe this is the move he can play. Make you take. He is a pawn. So I still don't like the way you handled that earlier. But okay.
How does that make it?
Wait, so rook e6, bishop c2, bishop takes, queen takes, queen to c8, take everything, but it's nothing. It's just a big old trade, right? Knight to e3, knight e4.
Better yet.
What's going on here? Knight e4, bishop f4. So you won this game, but you're down a pawn here, right?
You're going to win a piece.
He played f5 and then you played knight to d5. Probably f5, maybe not the best move for him.
Bishop.
The rook over something. Alright, but now you have knight d5. Ah, he blunders this one.
I know, I saw this. I was wondering whether I should have done it or not.
Okay, so if knight c7, queen moves, you take, he's going to take your bishop. That's the issue, right?
My bishop.
Right, well, I'm trying to do it in my head, but you're moving the pieces, yeah. Okay, but let's back up. That's the other problem with moving the pieces, and you may not be choosing the best line. Let's see here. So knight c7, what if he moves the queen to a different square? You know?
Yeah, that's
Hold on, in your head, back it up. You really have trouble with that. You need to learn to sit on your hands. Sit on your hand. Because he wants to avoid your knight getting out with tempo, if you can. I don't really see anything super concrete, though, unfortunately for him. But, what? Well, you can go this way, like try to keep the queen on a better square, so that you have to waste the tempo and maybe the queen comes up. But I think you can just play g3.
What's your name?
And you should be doing just okay. So why didn't you go for that? Me neither. Okay. Well, bishop takes, queen takes, now rook e1. So you have really good counterplay here. I mean, you're down a pawn, but you've been down a pawn for a long time. You could have used his advantage earlier. So now you've got this very, very dominant outpost square. Activity, Holmes. F3, knight back to F6, rook E7, boomtown. Here we go, 7th rank.
Let's stop this. And
Queen of Fate, there should be some tacticos. There should be some kind of tactic here. So you took on F6. I don't really like it. So what about this move instead? Leave him. Yeah, but now you take with check. Let's check. Hold on, back up. Back up. Anyway, yeah, see now he's stuck. Okay? If he takes, you take with check and the whole 7th rank falls apart. If he does nothing, you're threatening to take and play queen d5 check in a lot of positions. You're also starting to just take on b7. The key is that you don't want to simplify it when your opponent is on the back rank here and the piece is being pushed back, there's tactics. You shouldn't make this trade unless you have some sort of concrete follow-up. Otherwise it's just a trade. I know, but even that is like not worth it. I mean, you should be bringing more pieces into the game. This f5 move was a very risky move by him. So you end up getting away with this, and then you take on b7, but if I'm black, I'm pretty happy about that. Because now I get this check. So you understand that, right? My way with queen to d3, it's alright, it's alright. They can be there. I know, but the whole position has changed because you traded the position, you simplified instead of bringing more pieces in, right? You should have this position. Instead, you have this position, right? Yeah. All right, so you're undervaluing your activity to shrink the pieces over this pawn here. All right, so king f1. He plays queen e3. Well, he's just using the pieces that are out. But okay, if I'm playing black here, I'm probably going to win this game. Play here.
Why not?
See, I'm going to do what you should have done. Bring more pieces into your exposed king. I'm actually threatening the move queen h4 here, which threatens mate and h2. Position is a potential mess for you. And it's all because of this knight f6 move. You brought his queen to life. So he plays queen e3 and you're like, queen trade? He's like, no, but means that he gets mated. Yeah, he does get mated. Just because he doesn't get mated right away doesn't mean he doesn't get mated. Well, you played there because it's also mate, yeah. F4 and then over and he resigned. Okay, well, nice execution of the 7th rank in the end, but a lot of mistakes in this game that you can learn from for future games. That's the important thing. Taking on c6 and the scotch there with the bishop, you want to value central control and activity, accelerated activity over the bishop here, all right? You should have done that. After that, you had a decent middle game. Main thing here is, you know, this, your opponent's pieces are on their worst squares possible. You know, you have them knocked down and then you're giving them a hand up and then you remember, oh, I really wanted him down there. You know, I mean, it just doesn't make sense, okay? All right, next game. Huh? Who was next?